Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm Sam.
I'm Amy.
And this is the Average Jos show. Welcome to the show. As always, we have Hayden. And say hello.
Hello.
And we have a couple of special guests today.
Oh,
Introduce yourselves and
My name is Dylan, and with me is my good friend and fellow nerd.
I'm Jeremiah. Good to be here.
We're with the upcoming Nerd Switch podcast. Probably not live at the time this comes out, but September 22nd or 23rd, we're going to be launching our own podcast, and we've been doing... Or October.
Hey, wait a minute.
We've been collaborating with the Average Jos on a couple episodes, so we're here with them today. They joined us last week on an episode you guys can see when we launch, so thanks for having us.
Yeah, of
Thank
course. We're going to have you guys on more too.
Awesome.
hopefully if you guys want to be on.
Yeah.
Who knows how this episode goes.
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how
If
this
this goes
goes.
terribly, we're not talking anymore.
So we have a new setup. Hayden's got his own desk. Hayden's acting as our PA now.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yes.
He's going to make this a less chaotic.
Yeah. I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can tame the storm that we
Yeah.
I'll sure try.
But yeah, now we have a new table, and this is just a different setup, and I like it.
Yeah.
Before we get started, we have some drinks.
Yeah.
We got some Mountain Dew Voodoo, the limited edition 2022.
Ooh. Should we do a synchronized?
Synchronized opening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
That was
Sick, dude.
I got scared that my nails were going to break.
That was the coolest thing I've ever done.
That makes me think of a lady that, like, just a singer. She's like, alright guys, I want you all to crack your knuckles all at the same time.
Oh no.
And they all did, and she was like, oh, that was beautiful. It sounded like everyone was breaking their bones. It was pretty good.
Editor, find that and put it in here.
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and then after 1, I want everybody to crack their knuckles, okay? Everyone silence, silence. 3, 2, 1.
I think the only thing scary about this Mountain Dew is the carbs.
How many carbs does it have? Pardon? Carbs.
43 grams.
Oh, yeah, Mountain Dew is trying to kill us.
Always have been.
I don't know why, but I feel like the first time I had this, I was like, oh, this isn't that good. But now trying it now, it's like, this is pretty good.
I'm trying to figure out what the flavor is for this right now.
Well, I can tell you what it is, but I want
I
to.
think-
What
Did
do
we-
you think?
Did we come to it
I looked it
consensus
up.
that one time? Oh.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
And what we said was.
It reminds me of an Otter Pop.
Ooh. I think also because when we first had it, I think it was warm or it wasn't cold.
That's.
So like
This
it made.
is fresh.
Yeah, this is super nice. Thank you, Hayden.
He's pulling up the Mountain Dew wiki.
I like how it's a fandom one and not even Wikipedia.
So,
It's sour candy.
or other various types of candy.
Yeah.
Those are some speculations out there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it's based off of Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Guess what movie we watched today?
Like literally 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Or 40 minutes ago.
40 minutes ago.
What does that say on the screen, Hayden? I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
That's it. It's Halloween Ends. 2022's Halloween Ends. Is it the end? I don't know. I sure hope. We don't need another series to be beaten like a dead horse.
Yeah.
But general consensus of everybody. Go for it, Dylan.
I like parts of it. I don't like a lot of more parts of it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go full spoilers on this as we.
No, not right now. We're gonna
No,
go
we'll-
a little later.
Okay.
I think it started out strong, and then it kind of lost its way a little bit.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit. Trying to make a story for itself, and then it comes full circle though. So it comes back around.
Yeah.
It's without getting into it, it's kind of like they had two different scripts, and when you look at maybe the writer of Halloween, he's like, my movie has this really good ending, but we kind of need a movie in there. And this other guy's like, hey, I've got this script. I've got a pretty good story. Why don't we just like throw that in there? So yeah, it's kind of like two movies in one. And, take that for what you will. If you go to it to see a Halloween movie, you might be a little disappointed, but I won't say too much until we dive into it.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
I did enjoy it. It had its ups and downs. I will admit, it felt too scripts. Like it felt like something was being thrown out there. It felt really quick. Definitely, you need to see the previous movies to be able to know what's going on. Otherwise, it feels like it's super quick, like that. Everybody's aware of who they are in this show, but if you're kind of coming into this new, it's going to look like they're already aware of what's going on, that they're reading off a script.
Yeah. Like they briefly talk about what happened in the last ones, but it's like, as you said, super quick, so it's not
they just
they're
kind
not
of
giving
rush
the
through it.
rundown.
I feel like they rush through it. Characters are meeting together.
Mhm.
They're just instantly like, oh, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
When she was doing the monologue in the beginning, did her voice sound off to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever she did do a monologue, because she had two whole monologues and it just sounded distorted.
Yeah. It's like she had an echo sound effect, but then they didn't fully commit to it.
Yeah, but that also could have been our crummy theater. It's an old theater.
Yeah.
But Amy, your thoughts?
I mean, it's okay. I think right now, I'd probably need to sit on it more to, get the full feel of it. But right now, I'm just it's just the second one. I have the same feelings of that, which is just, okay. Because the first one, the first of this trilogy kind of, peaked with, how good it was. And that one was just a love letter to, all the Halloween movies and how it had little references to all of them from before. But then the rest of them didn't really do it.
Yeah, it could have easily just stopped with that first one because it had the beginning and the solid ending, and that could have just been it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They kind of copied a little bit because they did showing in that last one. They had scenes of bringing back the original movies.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of throwing memories in there.
Yeah.
And they kind of repeat that again, trying to throw it in there again to be like, oh, look at these past movies we made,
Yeah.
Look, we made money at some point. Look at this. You watched this, I think.
Dude, remember the originals?
Yeah.
Dude.
And I don't know what's up with this trilogy and sidelining its own main characters, but Halloween Kills barely features Laurie Strode, and then Halloween Ends barely features its main antagonist.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Insert Baby Driver comment.
This is Mike Myers.
Yeah,
Doc said Michael Myers.
This is Mike Myers.
It should be the Halloween mask.
This is a Halloween mask.
No, the killer dude from Halloween.
Oh, you mean Jason?
No!
he's basically benched for a lot of the movie. And,
Yeah.
He's like, come on, coach. Let me in.
Yeah.
Let me play, coach.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back out there.
They briefly show him halfway through the movie, you just see a glimpse of him, and then he doesn't show up again until 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the movie was okay. I think generally it was just a fun little Halloween-esque movie, not Halloween the series movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a fun slasher film. With how many kills did you say, Hayden, were in this movie?
Weren't there
18?
18?
It was a body count of 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? And that's even counting. Is that even counting
That's-
the flashbacks?
Mm-hmm. That's
Oh, that's sort of lame though.
Yeah, it's trying to count
So
the
it's-
flashbacks for it.
16 without
Yeah.
the flashbacks.
Mm.
But I thought it was pretty fun. Some of the characters, Corey, was an interesting take on the character.
He was the main character, basically.
Yeah,
So
because you couldn't really expand on any of the other characters without being like, I don't want to know too much about Michael Myers.
Yeah.
yeah, without spoiling it, they do bring in a new character. He's introduced, and I think they set him up really well.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie definitely carries more on his shoulders than any of the other ones, which I think is a bold choice to make for like the cap to a trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
where you're kind of focusing on a character that no one knows or no one's invested in quite yet. So bold choice. It works for parts of it, I think, and then the rest it kind of falls off.
Yeah. I wish they introduced him in Halloween Kills. Like, don't, like, not making him, like, a big, like, ooh, look at this character, ooh, who could he be? Just, like, have him be a
Just kind
background
of like
character.
that background character. Like,
Yeah.
he's there, you see him, he has lines, but he's someone that continues into the new movie.
Mhm.
And then there's the development for him.
Yeah, and it would be fun, like, rewatching him, because it's like, wait a minute, he was in Halloween Kills, dude! He was here the whole time!
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Sam, where I think it's on its own like a fun and decent movie, but as a Halloween movie with like Michael Myers and all that canon, I don't think it's a good Halloween movie. But on its own, it's fine.
Hayden, what's your general thought?
5 out of 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Wait, 5 out of 1 out of 10? Oh, 5.1.
5.1 out of 10, sorry.
Thanks for reading.
5 and a 1 out of 10.
I agree with that score.
This
It
guy's,
was like, man.
this guy's rating those fractions.
Dude!
I would have been more surprised if he did like the Rotten Tomatoes 39%. I'm like,
Yeah. I don't know. It just
I think it's
is what
one.
it is. I don't
Do we want to go into spoilers now?
Let's just dive into the movie.
Okay, spoilers, everyone. If you want to watch it, then I guess go watch it. But we're spoiling everything. Don't cry about it. One thing that really irked me was how so the cold opening of the movie, which is I don't know if you know what that is.
I know what a cold opening is.
Okay, I wasn't.
She
Cut
just,
it out.
She just looked at me and be like, "Hey, are you an idiot?"
Do you think my film skills are inadequate?
I took 2 years of film class in high school. I know what a cold open is. I didn't learn it from that, but I learned it from The Office. But
Wow. But yeah, like with the cold open, I think it was with that, but they like do like October 30th, and then it shows that whole scene, which that was kind of wild.
explain more. So,
Uh,
what happened in this opening scene, Amy?
so it introduces Corey, and he's babysitting for this family, and like the parents are going to like a Halloween party, and the kid's just a huge jerk and locks him in a closet, and Corey kicks open the closet, and the door smacks him, and he like falls down like, what was it, like three
Three stories. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
3
geez.
stories. Yeah. And that was like right as the parents got home too.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Hello?
Like in the beginning, I'm just like, Corey, the babysitter's gonna die because the kid just said it. That's how it's gonna be. And
I
then
thought-
plot twist, the kid is gone.
I totally thought that. I knew that the kid was gonna die, but I was like, oh, I think Michael's gonna come in and just kill him, and just like give Corey the look like he's wrong. I got you. Could you imagine him looking straight into the camera like, guess this idiot's wrong? But yeah, I think in that cold open they say the 30th, and then like later in the movie, like probably halfway, they're like October 31st, when it's like, okay, there's been a few days in between.
Well, this was
All this
that was
stuff.
like a few years apart.
Yeah,
in between,
yeah.
In between.
Like the kid dying and then coming back to the next Halloween.
Really?
Was it 20?
Because like look at the house, it's completely cleared out, dust covered.
Yeah.
I think they said it was 2019.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
what
they
I
had
thought.
like there was a gap in between. I don't know if it's like during Halloween Kills or like right after that this happened, and then the 4-year gap comes in.
Yeah, because it's,
Yeah, it does say in 2019.
yeah.
See if it's. Does
So-
it say when the.
3 years later.
3 years.
okay.
So yeah,
Because it's
1
4
year
years. It's 4 years from like
The original.
the first one.
from Halloween Kills to
Yeah.
this one. So it's a year after Halloween Kills. The
Mhm.
boy dies,
Hmm.
and then it's 3 years later that it's been all like settled. Because
Yeah.
there's no way that poor kid Corey is going through court in a night.
Yeah. Well, I knew that it was like a few years later in between that, but it's just like, okay, you introduce like October 30th, but then like they don't do anything. Also, I felt like the romance between him and Allison, yeah, that went super fast.
See, I felt like that script was just instant. Because for
Yeah.
them, this is like a span of 3 years then. Because he got really famous
Mhm.
because of this accident that happened.
Yeah.
And in that 3 years, people said his name. They martyred him for this because of
Mhm.
Myers disappearing.
Mhm.
He became the new martyr for the town.
Mhm.
And so everybody knew about him. Everybody knows about Lori and Allison.
Mhm.
And so them meeting is kind of like, oh, I've heard so much about you. Now I'm finally meeting you.
Yeah.
That they didn't really specify that though, because it felt so quick
Yeah.
that they're just like, oh, I'm meeting you for the very first time,
Yeah.
and want to go out?
Yeah, everything went super fast. Like when they first met at the hospital, like just their awkward romance. I was like, oh, I feel like it wouldn't be like this. Like I feel like there would need to be like more development with it.
They set up the introduction of like Laurie's family to him pretty well, because there's a scene early on where Corey's getting kind of harassed and bullied by this group.
By the coolest band jock.
No, get this. I hate it because they call him a kid when he's obviously older than them.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, he
like-
was 21 when he...
Seniors in high school.
Yeah, he was 21 at the time of, like, the boy being killed, but now
Yeah, so
it's
he's
3
like
years...
25.
Yeah, so he's, like,
Something.
so much older than them, and
Yeah,
they're
and
just...
they're like, oh, we just killed the kid. And it's like, kid?
Right.
Hello?
Yeah, so they try to get him to buy them alcohol, and he's like, you know, I've already been to jail, I'm good. And they just kind of give him a hard time, and then, you know, he gets knocked over and cut up a little bit, and then Lori shows up to kind of get the other kids out of there. And then, in a cool scene I thought, was like, she pops open the switchblade, and she's like, do you want to do it, or do I, to like cut their tires?
Mm-hmm.
And
She's such a cool person. I love her.
Great.
so yeah, Lori ends up liking him and then introducing him to her daughter in the movie, which kind of kickstarts it. But I agree
Is
that
her granddaughter?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
But it does move pretty quick from there, where the relationship just kind of jump starts from the introduction and doesn't get set up as well.
Yeah. I think they were wanting to do romance, but they're like, we only know how to write horror. What are we supposed to do? And they're like, go watch a rom-com or something. We'll just take
Go
notes
watch a
from that.
Hallmark.
Go to Hallmark.
Yeah. Go take some notes on there and then we'll just use it. It'll be fine. I also thought it was hilarious after they did Allison and Corey's relationship. After they introduced that, we go to the store with Lori and I know he's one of the cops, but I can't remember what exactly he is.
Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins.
What's his first name? Is it Fred? Frank?
His name is Officer.
Hayden just has the Wikipedia up for us.
I'm pretty sure his name was Frank.
Yeah.
It started with an F.
Yeah. But anyways, I love how after they show Corey and Allison's, then we go to Lori and Frank's, and it's like, wow, everyone's getting a relationship. Lucky for them.
It is Frank.
Franklin.
Frank.
I did like that it tried to set them up as just trying to enjoy their lives despite everything happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were trying to build it to moving on, basically.
Yeah.
And they were trying to it was like you have this traumatic thing through the town, everybody's going through it, everyone's still trying to recover.
Mm-hmm.
Blame is still being shifted around that this person's at fault, and people are, even with how traumatic it all was, they were trying to move on.
Well, it's great. Like in the opening epilogue, you see all these people like that have died, whether from like suicide, gunshots, or whatever, and it's just showing like there's still all these things that are happening, but they all blame it on Michael Myers and what happened that night, and it's interesting.
Well, a lot of people blamed Lori too, because there's a scene when she runs into the family with the one lady who kind of had like the glass light tube shoved in her throat in the last movie.
That was her. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I was like, she looks so familiar, but I can't even think of which one she's in.
Yeah, and so she's like, you provoked that man, and then, this happened, she lost her voice, and it's your fault. And you see Lori kind of trying to balance, like, trying to live her own happy life now, but still kind of being stuck as being the person involved with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Was that the one, like the old couple at the beginning of the
in Halloween Kills, it's
Halloween Kills.
yeah, it's the couple where like
The lady
the husband has
the drug.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's who I was trying to figure out for the longest time, but I don't know what the general message would be of the movie would be just like to move on from your past, like whether it be past transgressions, past like trauma, and because it seems like Michael Myers he was in the sewers, probably hanging out with Pennywise from It.
He was a little wet rat down there.
Yeah, well,
Hey, Michael.
Dude, they could
Float down here.
Dude, they could do a Michael versus Pennywise, and then do a Freddy versus Jason versus Michael versus Pennywise.
and then it turns into
Ghostface.
Yeah!
and then they do like a Civil War kind of thing where Michael and Pennywise team up against Jason and Freddy.
There's a bigger evil here. We gotta work together, despite our differences.
It'd be like a lot of characters would be just so quiet throughout this whole movie. Pennywise does all the talking. Freddy does all the talking for Jason.
Yeah. Well,
They
like,
would just be cracking jokes the whole time, and then Jason and Michael would just sit there like, oh, I hate it here. I just want to kill something, please.
we can't kill each other.
Yeah, the big fight in Civil War was at the airport. They could just have this one be in like a spirit of Halloween.
Michael just pulls out one of those plastic knives and just like stabs it, and it just bends, and it's just like it's the first time you actually ever hear him. He's just like, what the F is this? And that's the only time he ever speaks, ever.
Have Chucky jump off one.
But like something that is interesting though, like it seems like Michael Myers was just chilling in the sewers just forever and wasn't going to come back out. But then Corey sort of finds his way and
Gets thrown off the bridge.
No, Michael. Was it Michael or the homeless guy that kind of shoved him in the sewer?
No, he was pushed off the bridge and knocked out, and then he was dragged into the sewer.
By Michael.
Presumably by Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really
that
show.
old man ain't dragging him around.
Yeah.
I thought the old man was like, I make the sacrifices for him, and just whatever.
He's also just a senile old man.
No, he said he was Michael.
Yeah.
Where's Mike Myers?
Every single time we say Mike Myers, can you put a groovy baby in the background?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Or you can put in Cat in the Hat, either one.
Yeah. Well, it just seemed like the movie, everybody was just minding their own business, and then they also were just, I don't know.
They all ganged up on Lori, which I sat there and I was like, y'all, what the heck is happening?
Yeah, well.
But then the dad character of like the kid that died in the beginning.
Mr. Allen? Is it Mr. Allen or just, or, like, is his last name Allen or his first name? I'm pretty sure it's, I don't think it matters. We
Jack William Marshall, Mr. Allen.
Yeah.
Jack William Marshall is the actor.
But yeah, anyways,
just Mr. Allen.
yeah, he was talking about how he's like, yeah, I'm sad that my son died, but like he was a good kid, but people are just taking my pain and making it their own and being mad for me when I know what happened. And like I feel like that's just everyone. Like everyone's just taking the pain of what Michael Myers did.
Yeah.
But then they're blaming Laurie for it.
They look at the pain as if it's like the town's pain because it's very much an event that took place there and affected everyone. So I think that's kind of the angle they're looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird for the fact that it's like it was the town that was affected, or they were taking it as the town was affected, and there was a lot of lives lost throughout this whole event. And like the Mr. Allen's, the father saying how they're taking his pain and making it their own. That a lot of them didn't have to deal with any of this. A lot of it became a ghost story that Michael was walking around, that Michael's out there,
or that Corey is a threat to the public. But we're trying to find out it was just an accident. But also it sort of opened up something inside of him and be like, I could be a mass killer now.
He looked Mike Myers in the eye and said, "Oh yeah, baby," and then that's what got him killing.
Yeah, to go back to the plot, so when he's dragged into the sewer, there's this scene where Michael, in the dark, like grabs him in a chokehold and just stares deeply into his eyes. And
give me a
one of the few scenes you see where Michael isn't killing someone right away. He stares at him and lets him go, assumedly because he sees like the same evil within him that Corey has.
Well, because
it's like looking in a mirror.
Well, because you have that weird little montage where you see like random flashes of like all the people that I was about to say Jason, all the people that Michael has killed, and then all of a sudden it shows a few bits from
it showed from Corey. Yeah, it showed like
it's just
it showed him at home. It showed him with the band kids, and then it showed him what happened like with Jeremy Allen, like babysitting and what happened.
So he's just like, you're hired, you start at 7 p.m.
Well, I was thinking more like Step Brothers where it's like,
you're starting now.
I was thinking more like Step Brothers where it's like, did we just become best friends?
When we catch dude past trauma, let's bond.
Yeah. Which that was a really cool scene. I like that visual. Yeah.
They had a lot of good visual stuff.
Yeah.
Like mostly like silhouette stuff and like more towards the end when Corey and Michael are fighting, but like you're just sitting like in like the sewer hole that goes into like the main sewer, so you see him like going on and off screen.
Yeah, it has some good moments. I mean, because there's you see it through the movie that Corey's like descending as a character, becoming darker and darker, more willing to kill. But the scene where the dad talks, or the dad of the child that was killed in the beginning, and he's like, the kid that mowed my lawn, or that used to mow my lawn, did not kill my son, but I looked into his eyes the other day and it wasn't the same person. So you can tell like it's off now and he's going down a dark path, but I do like how it kind of plays with it and sets him up as a character that way.
My big question is, why was Myers just chilling in the sewers for 3 years?
He was just getting his buzz. He was on vacation. He's like, I'm good.
I got some revenge, like
people randomly.
Laurie's alive. I killed her daughter.
He does get pretty messed up at the end of the second movie, but like he also gets up right away.
Yeah.
He looked like he was like weakened from like everything that had happened. Like his mask was still burned.
His face was burned too.
His face was burned.
Oh, I didn't notice.
I know that the second movie touches on like the more people he kills, kind of the stronger he gets, or something like that. So maybe it's messing around because the homeless guy's like, people go in every once in a while, so maybe that's him like killing to stay alive or something.
Yeah.
Michael Myers is just a vampire.
But instead of, he feeds off of adrenaline.
He feeds off the pill, off the murder of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the ultimate adrenaline junkie. But I don't know. Like I did like the storyline of Corey, of his descent into madness, into craziness. I think his whole, what do you call like the plot device? The
his
MacGyver?
motivations?
Or
MacGyver?
is it MacGyver?
Isn't MacGyver like an actor or something?
I think it's an action show, like character.
No, that's McGregor.
Oh, that's Ewan McGregor. Is that Obi-Wan Kenobi? No.
Yeah, MacGyver's a movie.
Okay. But like, yeah, no, like a plot device or like his motivation. That's probably the better thing. His motivation is just like I'm gonna take everything that Allison says, "Who's my love?" right now, and take it way too literal, and just
Taking it over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sort of like fed the idea to her, and he's just like, sometimes we just want to burn everything to the ground. And then she's like,
Dude.
I still want to burn everything to the ground. I'm on it!
I'm doing it! Let's go!
And then he provoked the cops, he provoked the kid. He killed a ton of people. He had no, because he didn't.
He just got annoyed. I mean,
Yeah,
3 years of like pent up rage probably from these people. I mean,
And he couldn't really do anything
Yeah.
about it too.
When was his first kill?
The
Was
homeless.
it was
Yeah.
technically the homeless man.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
first murder, not his first
murder.
not his first manslaughter being killed.
Well, I didn't even count the homeless man as like a slight manslaughter because the homeless man was like forcing him to go back in there, pointing a knife at him, and was about to kill him too.
Yeah, so then
The first person he kills is Doug, the police
Oh.
officer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it definitely was Doug.
Doug was a great character. I
No,
love
he
Doug.
wasn't.
I love to hate him. I love that he was just immediately killed off. We knew that he was a dirtbag when you first saw him.
Yeah, you know he's terrible.
Yeah, you know he's terrible, and so he had to die. Oh,
I
quick
wish-
question, just off subject. Did Allison have blonde hair in the last movie?
No, that was
No,
the mom.
that was the mom.
Okay, that's why I was thrown off for the whole time. I'm just like, I thought she had blonde hair.
It was her mom.
Yeah.
I wish the second movie kind of connected all of them a bit more. I feel like everything that happened in the second one didn't entirely matter.
A little
Like
bit.
you could have just like cut that out. Like the only thing that you would need is just like the mom dying, and that's it.
Mhm.
The second one very much just kind of lets Michael run around and kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the first one he only kills like not that many people.
In the second one?
No, in the first one.
I was about to say, I'm like, he kills like half the town.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of bummed me out is I thought they were setting it up to just have like the whole trilogy take place on the same night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
We can't call it Halloween when it's November 1st. That
I,
makes no sense.
I think they have the logic of like, we gotta make sure our main character Lori actually can move around and
Yeah.
isn't suffering a stab wound from the movie previous
Mhm.
and isn't an old wrinkly hag. I didn't like Allison in the movie. That's my hot.
I don't feel
know if
like
that's
they.
a hot
I don't
take,
feel like
but-
they did a lot for her character. I thought they were gonna do some stuff. Like I thought she was getting built up to be like either going off the deep end as well, doing something that she wasn't. Doing something evil, bringing it into that everybody has that evil and is capable of it.
Mhm.
I thought that she was gonna go into it as well.
I thought either that or the complete other way around, where she walks in before Corey is like walks in when Corey's gonna kill Lori, and then she sees the dark side of Corey, like the ultimate like deep dive.
Not my grandma.
But then they just made it even worse, of just like Corey is gonna kill himself, then he's gonna then she's gonna walk in, Lori's gonna say nothing and not explain anything that just happened. I don't know. I guess it was a different take that usual movies do of like they try to explain themselves and like, no, I don't believe you. But instead they're just like, I'm not gonna say anything. There's gonna be no like butting of the heads in the moment.
I mean, I feel like that part is just Lori kind of sitting there and being like, oh no, she's not gonna believe me, and I just lost my whole family.
Mm.
I think that was her emotion, because I remember sitting there like, why is she like now being emotional about him dying? What the heck? But it's just because her granddaughter is now gonna just see her as a monster and not want to talk to her.
Yeah, it ties into the beginning where, you know, Corey accidentally kills the kid. With this scene, it's framed to look like Lori has murdered Corey, even though Corey offed himself to make the mom look bad to her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of the same sort of setup.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of interesting because, like, what if he sort of did that to Lori because he's just like, I suffered through all of this. Everybody saw me as the villain because it looked like I killed this kid. Now it's gonna look like you killed me, and now you're gonna suffer the consequences of it. And then no, that doesn't happen.
I still don't get his whole, like, if I can't have her, no one will, because him killing himself doesn't really do anything.
Well, that's what they were trying to do. That's what he knew. Like, he heard her come in, he was going to frame her, because he had told Allison previously that Lori was wanting to kill him,
Mm-hmm.
that she was coming after him. So she kind of made it made it look like he was a victim in this sense, and that's why when he killed himself in that way, she was about to leave. She was about to. Lori couldn't have her, but she saw the radio tower on fire,
Mm-hmm.
and then she got even the call that something was happening with her grandmother, and that's when she went back and saw what it was actually going on, that Michael was there, and that something was going on. And then it doesn't show it, but Lori explained everything that had happened.
Mm-hmm. I'd assume at least.
Yeah.
I hope.
I mean,
It's just like, let's forget about this guy. This guy was weird.
That guy was a loser. I'm sorry I made you date him.
Yeah.
Pure speculation, but I do think the movie is trying to set up the granddaughter to be a potential, like, Myers-like figure, like Corey was in the movie.
I hope not.
Yeah, I would hope not either, but also they kind of referenced it in, like, the first movie of the trilogy, where, like, at the end when they're, like, driving away in the truck, she's, like, holding on to the knife that she stabbed Michael with.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for. I don't know if they're setting it up as well as they can, but
I hope they're not setting anything up. I just want this trilogy to stay as a trilogy. I'm fine with how it went. And
No, they're just gonna make a new trilogy with her as the villain.
yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need that.
Yeah.
They could have just stopped with the Halloween reboot because it had a good ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't have that cool fight scene at the end of the second one where he just like stands up and then after he's like beaten down by the entire town, he just
gets
comes
back
up
up.
and just like kills everybody, which is by far one of the sickest slasher scenes in any movie that I've seen, which isn't a lot of them. But one scene that I thoroughly enjoyed, sort of like Corey sort of turned into from like, hey, show me how you show me your thing, Mr. Myers.
You have something I need.
Yeah, and then he's sort of treating him as like, show me how you kill people, which is a messed up line, but like he's the greatest killer out there, so like
Show me how
sure.
you do it, please.
But then like later on he's just like, I need your mask, and then like those two have a fight sequence, which
Off camera.
yeah, they just show them sort of like wrestling, grappling each other, and then they like go off the screen, and then
That's when you're in like the sewer hole and you just like see it.
I thought it was a cool visual. It was
Yeah.
like it sort of.
I couldn't tell who was winning at first, but then I just see Corey crawling out with the mask. You're like, oh, I guess he won.
Yeah. Well, like for a second, I'm just like, no way, they just killed Mike Myers like that. Mike Myers. I hate this. But another scene that I liked. So like Allison, she works at this doctor's office, or or the ER. I can't remember what.
She's like a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was trying to get this promotion, and then this other girl gets the promotion.
It's set up that like the doctor there is very much only giving this other girl the promotion because there's like a romance. It's gross.
Yeah.
And then there is a romance.
Yeah, there is.
But Amy made a point and said, like after we watched the movie, it was just like, yeah, they still didn't do a first name basis. It was still like, Doctor, whatever your name is.
Dr. Mathis.
They weren't like romantically like intimate, but they were just intimate in general. She was doing something to try and get a promotion, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was getting ahead.
She was
Like-
getting.
Yeah.
She was getting a purple. She was getting a purple robe. That's all. That's all.
She just got a purple robe.
And then a weird looking shower, a nice day spa, a nice pool, casually getting murdered.
Hung on the
Yeah.
wall.
Bro, I love it. I love that visual so much of like somebody getting stabbed and just stuck on a wall.
They're just stuck
Like,
there.
Yeah.
It's like the Vine where it's like, oh, when you have a comically large spoon, but like instead of it's a comically large knife, and it just,
Comically pinned up against a wall by a
Yeah.
knife.
I was logically mad at that scene because like that knife was not big enough.
oh yeah.
And she's hung up on a painting too, so like, obviously that string holding it up isn't gonna hold the both of them.
You
Yeah.
just see the scene of Michael early on. He's like using the stud detector, trying to figure out what this. He's like, if I stab her here, it'll stick.
Yeah.
Come to find out, he was just a carpenter. He's like a framer, like in his.
Dude, John Carpenter?
Oh yeah. Oh boy. You were saying this earlier. So there, Corey loves his motorcycle way too dang much. There's so many scenes where he's riding on his motorcycle, and Allison's like wrapped around him, behind him and whatnot.
Yeah.
Dylan made a comment about this. I'm just stealing everybody's comments today, I guess.
I can repeat
If
that.
yeah, you do it. You do it.
So the scene where Corey is at the house with the nurse and the doctor, and like he kills the doctor. The nurse starts to call the cops and like almost gets away, but then it's revealed that Michael Myers is also there, and so Michael kills the nurse, and then you see Corey driving away from the house on the motorcycle, and I turned to Sam and I was like, what if Michael Myers was just on the back like
I was thinking too, because then it cuts to Corey driving out. He's like all cleaned up, and then a hand just starts kind of going around and like touch his face. I'm like, is that Michael?
It's just like blood.
It's like, hello there, going around killing with my best friend.
That's the real love story that we did. I remember early on, like, when they showed Lori and, oh my gosh, Frank, with them doing, like, romantic stuff. I was
Romantic grocery shopping.
like, yeah. I was joking. I was like, oh man, what if in this one Michael Myers gets a girlfriend? Or boyfriend, whichever one you want, Mike.
He got a brother. That's all he needed.
Yeah.
And, well, did you see Lori hold his hand for way too long at the end of the movie?
They should have just kissed.
Yeah, just kisses Mike on the
Just
cheek
so
and just like, good night, sweet prince.
My one true love.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
night, my king.
For those who wanted to go to the movie to get the whole like Lori v. Michael, you do get it at the very end for like a good 15 minutes, and it's actually a good scene.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. Yeah.
You know, you see him throw down. What did you guys think? Was it a good payoff for that arc, even though half the movie has nothing to do with it?
Yeah.
I liked it, but those fights are always just very exaggerating.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like being thrown into a cabinet with glass and shattering plates and the glass itself. I feel like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
Enough.
Especially when it's the face, too.
Yeah, like-
he grabbed her hand.
He was throwing her head into a lot of things.
yeah.
I feel like I'd be a little discombobulated at that point.
Yeah. I liked this one, but I think my favorite one is just from the first one. Because
The
it
first
starts...
of the new ones.
Yeah, the first of the trilogy, where, like, it starts off with, like, Laurie and Michael like fighting each other, and she's like hunting them out throughout the house.
Yeah,
And then it
that's
like
cool.
all like culminates to like all three generations going up against Michael, and they all do like their own thing. Especially with the mom, she's like, "Oh, Mom, I can't do this. I can't do this alone. I can't do it." And then she's just duping Michael, and she's like, "Gotcha," and shoots him.
I do like when like a horror movie has smart characters.
Oh yeah.
I like that Laurie had like trained, practiced, and like I like the like smart where she had her granddaughter laugh. She was sad for it, but she's still cautious and aware. Okay, someone's in my house. Time to make a scene. Goes to her office. She's looking down. She's got alcohol with her. And pulls out the gun from her safe, calls 911 saying there's going to be a suicide. All of it was a ploy.
Yeah.
Shoots a pumpkin.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Corey's in the house and he's making his way up to
Dude,
kill
I
Laurie.
love that show.
I'm like, what are you going on about? And then I thought that half second I said, Corey in the house, y'all.
That'll be our next movie, Michael in the Lighthouse.
President Myers.
Yeah, but Corey makes his way up the stairs and Laurie shoots the pumpkin in a room to imply that she shot herself, which then allows her to get the jump on Corey, and then they have their fight before Michael shows up. So it does do some cool stuff. I do feel like they kind of wasted Corey's character because he had really good setup, but I think the payoff wasn't
they
quite there.
give him like so much. They gave him this big build up and development, and then he doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. That's why I wish that he was like somehow in the second movie.
That would have been
like,
really cool.
Or if they like made it all connected within the second movie. The second one, as I said before, just kind of doesn't feel or just.
I think the second one was to make up for people's sentiment that the first one didn't really feel like a Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like a home invasion, sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love how, so like in the first one you get Laurie being like this super cool, like she's trained all of her life to fight Michael. And then it's just fun seeing her in this one where like she's still like super cool, but now she's like being happy now and she's making pies.
Burning pies.
Yeah, burning pies, making pies. How it's a Halloween tradition.
Yeah, she's trying to move on. Like
Yeah. She's trying to live her best life.
She always gives a good performance. I mean, just the movie we watched with her last week, Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she gives it her all. How'd you guys feel about Mike Myers dying?
Very
Being
psychedelic.
sacrificed to the cat.
Yeah, so this scene was weird, because at the very end...
Getting sacrificed to the cat in the hat.
What do you mean the cat in the hat?
Because Mike Myers is the cat in the hat in the live action one.
I'm like, what does that make sense?
Because I said Mike Myers.
Because you get it? Both their names is Mike Myers.
So like, Michael Myers wasn't sacrificed.
Yeah, he was.
Mike Myers is not the guardrail, like the trash compactor thing.
I mean, he still got nailed to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the very last fight scene, so both Laurie and the granddaughter basically pin Michael to the kitchen table, and
Then Cat in the Hat comes in. That's where
the baseball bat.
I remember now. Sorry, what were you saying?
oh, just like the whole final sequence, I thought was kind of tonally weird. So they kill Michael Myers, and then he's essentially like paraded through the town all the way to the junkyard, where they all like.
The entire town showed up out of nowhere.
It's like the kind of send off you would expect for someone they like, because
Like a hero?
they're all like handling his body, kind of like when someone stave dives, Jesus. Stave dives.
Stage.
When somebody does a stage dive, like Peter Parker and Spider-Man 2, they're all lifting them above their heads and passing him on to where they're gonna do his final send-off, and it's just tonally weird because like this is a guy that terrified the town, but he's getting like a heroic send-off almost.
I feel like
I
it's
feel
also
like it was
just-
definitely more of like a good riddance. They're like, I want to be here watching this dude dead.
Yeah, I think it's also just to show the town, like, hey, look, Mike Myers, he's dead, and look, we're gonna make sure that he stays dead. Let's throw him in the wood chipper.
Metal grinder.
They throw him in a metal grinder, and
That's what it's called.
very good effects. I mean, you see him get ground up.
I knew
They
that
had
the
a
grinder
lot
was.
of blood bags in this,
Yeah.
in this movie.
I knew that the grinder was gonna come in.
I did
thought it
too,
was-
as soon as
I
I
thought it was
saw
gonna be
it.
the teenagers that got it.
I know, me too.
Which I got so excited, and then they didn't do anything.
I don't know, that
I would-
turning the band kid into a jack-o'-lantern was kind of cool.
Oh, bro, that was a Okay, can we talk about some gruesome kills in this movie?
Let's talk about the kills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some gruesome
Yeah,
kills.
why we came to this movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think by far my least favorite kill, because it was just so nasty, was when the main villain of the movie is killed. The DJ at what was it called? The Urge.
Urge.
Really?
Like W-U-R-G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 94.9.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
It hits home so good.
Well,
Yeah.
because that's one of our like the mainstream radio shows is 94.9.
Can I sidetrack you for just
Yes.
a second?
Yes.
Do it.
So a lot of the movie is Corey kind of taking revenge on a lot of people that kind of like belittled him and wronged him. So that's where a lot of the kills come from, is him visiting all the people he has beef with.
Mm-hmm.
And so it ties into the radio station where he goes, because there's a scene where the radio host is like, oh, you're with this psychopath?
Well, even the radio host was talking about it like all over the radio for
Yeah.
years
Mhm.
about like making fun of Corey, calling him out, telling him how he was totally at fault,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he made him like the infamous person that he was just by talking about him so
Yeah.
much.
But it's interesting too, because then Corey always listened to him. Like, he always had his radio on. Because, like, earlier, or like at one point, they have it on, and I think he's talking about Michael Myers, or like, or just the Strodes, and like Allison turns it off. Not him.
But basically, this radio host is always blabbing his mouth about Corey, about Lori,
Mm-hmm.
and nonstop talking.
He's a groovy version of J. Jonah Jameson, and instead of talking about Spider-Man, he talks about Michael Myers.
Yep.
He's a menace.
So carry on.
Spider-Man.
Carry on describing your favorite kill.
Oh no, it was the worst.
Oh.
I'm like, Corey goes in wearing the Michael Myers mask. So like, yeah, Corey takes Michael Myers masks at some point to like terrorize everybody who's wronged him, basically, in the final act of the movie. And like, Homeboy kills the assistant do we have the radio station's name? Oh,
Willie.
Willie the Kid, right? Yeah. Willie is the radio show host. His little receptionist lady is, not to make fun of blondes, but we're doing the stereotype, guys. That dumb blonde was
I'm
just like,
offended.
who are you?
Can I help you with something?
It's like, you don't look like a murderous hag that's terrorized this town for years. What are you doing here? And then she just gets murked in the
You're
background.
totally not Mike Myers.
Yeah.
You're clearly not as tall.
Yeah. And then, so he kills her, it's whatever. And then,
Kind of off screen too, just
Yeah.
in the background by a mirror,
with like the weird,
through a window.
the weird distorted window vision. But then he comes in to Willie's like a recording
Studio booth.
and then just stabs him a couple times, like, okay, and like smashes his head on the
End of the desk.
On the end of the desk. I'm like, that's pretty crazy, and his face looks pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
And then for some reason, this man pulls out scissors and then slices the tongue off, and blood is spewing out, which is then you just start hearing the record skip on the radio. I'm like, no, it's the tongue, and it's like skipping over, and it's ruining the radio station, and you just see the tongue flopping around.
Yeah, you get the sound effect for it and everything.
Worst part of the whole movie. Like, I like me a good kill, but the tongue, bro.
I wonder if it was
I hate
practical.
tongues, bro.
I want to know if it's practical or just digital.
Yeah, they sliced off his tongue.
No, the tongue just being on the record.
I bet it was practical.
Yeah, I feel like there was
Yeah.
a little problem.
Yeah.
To tie into him dressing up as Michael Myers, do you think anyone there, like on Halloween, just dresses up like that and people are like, whoa, bro?
Hey, man, you're going too far.
That's too soon, man. Too soon.
I could see people getting arrested for that, or being like I could see people dressing up like some punky kids, like the band people, probably doing that.
Ooh, look at me, I'm so edgy. I'm Mike Myers.
Yes.
That's what's interesting, because like someone doing that in this movie, you would think it would come off as like, hey man, that's not cool. But then you look at another franchise like Scream, where in the second movie, like everyone's dressed up as Ghostface, and they're all like wooting and hollering in the movie theater. And it was like a real thing that happened in another town.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Scream movies.
Oh, okay.
I want
You gotta watch them.
to. I want to. But yeah, what are some other fun kills?
Like Jeremiah said, I really like the one in the junkyard where he uses the blowtorch and kind of just sprays it right in the guy's mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kid deserved it. He was the worst
He
kid.
was so annoying.
Dude, the dialogue for those teens were terrible.
They-
Some of the dialogue just in general was not good.
Yeah, a lot of movies
Like-
still try to pull off the whole like bullying, but they don't. They do it like so 2000s like how Peter Parker was bullied in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, they set those characters up like they're gonna die at some point. It's just a given.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think the kid at the beginning was gonna die. I thought, oh, he's just some punky kid, and then something's gonna happen to probably the parents or something. But I wish something happened to that mom at least.
Oh yeah.
She was the worst.
No, she died.
Did she?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Corey killed her.
Yeah,
so
Corey killed his mother.
That's
No,
what-
not the.
Oh, no,
Not
the-
the kid's mom.
Not
Kid's
Corey's
mom.
mom.
Oh.
Corey's mom died like a freaking champ. She was the.
That's something we didn't really talk about too. Was Corey's actually like parents?
Oh
wait.
yeah.
Corey's mother, and then I guess like not even his stepdad, just
Yeah.
someone who was
Is it-
dating the mother.
I thought
guess.
that was his dad.
Was it?
Look that up, Aiden.
But
Aiden,
I
you're
love.
still here. Just yell right now.
I love
Okay.
how.
It's just Ronald.
He was just Ronald.
He's just Mr. Rick Moose. Rick Moose is such a dope name.
Rick Moose.
Rick Moose, baby.
But yeah, there's the scene with his parents where it comes off as funny, but it's kind of weird. Where the mom is like mad at him and slaps him, and then she's like, "I slapped my son. I need to kiss him now." And she like kisses
Oh,
him.
that's a disgusting scene.
I thought it was so funny because right as she kissed, I love how everyone in the theater was like, "Oh!" All of us hated it.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like there weren't that many people in the theater, but everyone made like an audible like, "Oh!"
Well,
Like,
that's
oh
like about
no.
that was about as uncomfy as the Northman. Like.
Oh yeah, when
What was more uncomfortable, do you think?
probably the Northman was a longer kiss, so I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
that one.
But what's her name was pretty hot though.
It's the same context though.
One takes
Someone-
place in like a way different time period. The other one is present day.
Still both wrong.
Still terribly wrong.
Yeah, you can tell that's where a lot of Corey's like character problems come from. Is his mom is borderline like possessive of him, and his dad kind of gives him the freedom. Like there's a scene where he gives him the motorcycle, and his mom's like, "Boys who keep secrets don't get custard," and he's like, "Don't tell her about the motorcycle."
Yeah, I liked him.
Ronald was great. Poor Ronald.
Yeah.
At least Corey didn't kill him.
You stupid
I don't
band
think-
kid.
Yeah. Do you think he would have?
I don't think
His
so.
dad was good to him, so I kind of doubt it.
Yeah.
But he's also psychotic at this point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was only killing people that just were
On his list.
like affecting his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with that one scene with Jeremy's mom, the little kid's mom, getting mad at him in the bar or in the
Yeah,
club.
that was so stupid.
Well, I thought that she should have been killed off. Was she not?
Yeah, she was never.
No, the last time you see her is in the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't ever. She's getting kicked out of the bar.
Well,
Yeah.
I think if they did, like thinking about it, if they did kill her, he would then have to kill the father character. And I don't think they would want to kill the father character off because he's too likable of a character. But that doesn't matter in slasher movies. If you like a character, like the doctor
They're
and the
most likely
nurse
gonna
in the
die.
second movie.
I don't think he
Yes.
wanted to kill them though, because you could tell he felt bad about what happened. To the
Yeah.
kid.
Like those guys are victims, he as well as he is. But everybody else is.
They just bullied him.
Yeah, they treated him differently. They don't know the situation. They are just like the parents are distraught. He's distraught in the situation, but everybody else sort of like.
I feel like because like it was only Mrs. Allen that thought he was like to cause. Like it wasn't an accident.
Mhm.
Mr. Allen like believed that he was a good kid. That the kid that mowed his lawn was a good person.
Mhm.
I feel like it wasn't until after finding Myers in the sewer that's when he changed. It's when like the darkness in his eyes came out more,
Yeah.
and that's when he's like, okay, now I'm actually seeing that this kid could have possibly done it on purpose.
Mhm.
That is one thing I did like quite a bit, is that the movie toyed around with like Michael being able to kind of awaken the evil within people.
Mhm.
I don't know if any of the other movies touched on that, but I thought it was neat.
Yeah.
I mean, probably in like the multiple sequels that Halloween has had.
Yeah.
Your favorite kill or another kill you want to talk about, Jeremiah?
Trying to remember. I mean, my favorite kill was like the whole band kids being killed off because they needed to be killed off. I wish they would have done a little bit more showing it. Like,
I don't know how much you could do with minors.
yeah.
Like,
In the first one, Michael Myers kills the little kid with like the super raspy voice, where he wanted to go to dance class instead of hunting. And they like show him die. Like in the first one, there's a dad and his son, and they're gonna go hunting, and then they stumble upon like the crashed bus,
oh.
and the kid's like going in the car, and I think he's
I
like
do
gonna
remember
leave, but Michael's in the car, and I think he like snaps his neck or something,
Yeah,
but he kills him on screen.
Mm.
I do remember that.
Yeah, because I remember in that movie they like later on, like after the kid dies, there's like a baby crying in the background, and I remember just sitting there like, he's about to kill the baby, but then he didn't.
Or we don't know.
No, he left.
Well, they also made a comment where it's just like Michael Myers doesn't kill kids.
Yeah, they definitely,
That's what the little kid said in this movie.
they make it seem like that's the case in the second movie at least, because all the kids, like there's even early on, like he runs directly into the kid and then just like leaves him there.
Yeah. Yeah. What a good guy. He doesn't kill kids.
Except for the first one.
Yeah. Amy, what's a kill that you like that we didn't talk about?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one too.
I think beyond like the DJ and the kids in the graveyard, not the graveyard, the junkyard, none of them were that crazy.
I mean, like
Yeah.
the first kill he officially, I say like is officially that he kills was the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Michael kills Doug.
I mean, in that one, he's just kind of stabbing him.
Yeah, he like put a bag over him. He's wearing the scarecrow mask.
Yeah.
Which was
And I think
funny.
that was a terrible idea to have, what's his name, wearing the scarecrow mask. But he did kill everybody who, he did kill
Well, that was
the
him
girl
before.
who knew.
Yeah, that was like when he was like first trying it out. He's like, okay, maybe I just need a mask. So he tries out the scarecrow mask. And
Well,
he's like, no, I don't fucking like that mask. So,
I
like your mask. I like your mask, Michael.
Well, so when Michael went with his very first kill, he was like wearing like a little clown costume and like had like a plastic mask. So it could be like mirroring that, where it's like
paying
The
homage
first-
to it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
out a mask first, and then
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of any other kills though.
Yeah. And like there weren't any too like these ones were just like okay.
Yeah, there's a
Like-
few pretty graphic, entertaining ones.
Mhm. Yeah.
Let's see. Corey is frightened. I'm reading a fun fact that Hayden had typed out. Corey is frightened at The Thing, like the movie that they watched at the beginning of the movie. Another movie by the director John Carpenter. A double-layered shout-out to, as the characters in the original Halloween are watching The Thing from another world, meaning this shout-out is shouting out another shout-out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
else?
because John Carpenter's The Thing was a remake of The Thing from Another World.
No way!
Oh.
The guy who played Michael Myers in the original Nick Castle, he was cameoed at the bar. He was the guy who's just like, oh, you're a scarecrow. Opens up his nose.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that was
love
him.
that.
Yeah, that's funny. That's actually very. We know what Michael Myers sounds like now, guys. That's pretty good.
Dude.
He just flashed Corey.
In the house or out of the house?
It's another Corey in the house joke.
It's Corey in the club. It's the it's when he's over. It's when he's out of the house. But I don't know. Any other general thoughts about the movie that we want to go over? Some of the song choices were interesting. Like it was.
I really like how the credits were Don't Feel the Reaper. Ooh, that's a romance song. But I Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
yeah, that's some good music choice for it. I
Mhm.
liked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I like that it started off with like this high energy, like Halloween bop song.
Yeah, like Monster Mash almost, but
Yeah.
The Monster
Are
Band.
you talking about the song? Are you talking about the song when all the kids are trick or treating, or like the rendition of the Halloween theme?
Not the Halloween theme.
Okay.
It's the one where, like, when they were opening up the movie and it was the
Yeah,
radio
yeah, okay.
station.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's. I'm making a Halloween party playlist. I only have like 12 songs on it, but I might throw in some. I actually don't have that one. I need to find that. I need to find that song. But yeah, I need to add a few songs from this movie. I don't know. They just give the aesthetic.
Spooky vibes.
Oh, a weird scene. One last thing.
Weird scene.
Weird scene. We'll probably throw this somewhere before we gave our last little consensus on the movie. But was the club scene. I don't know how I felt about the club scene.
It was a little weird, like the dance. He was getting,
Yeah.
he was drinking,
and then he
and
got on his knees and whatever, and
yeah, he's
like,
dancing on the
something's-
floor.
Yeah, I'm like, is he having a seizure?
I thought that's what they were going for, because like he's probably not around people normally like that.
Yeah, and they're gonna
Notice
be
he
like,
always, like, every time he had a choice to choose alcohol, he was always choosing the chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And then now he's drinking a bunch. It's like, what's going on?
I did kind of like the scene though, because you see him like trying to just have a good time for once, and then by coincidence, the mother of the child he killed is there, and she's like, "You think you can just come here and enjoy your life? You killed my son."
Yeah.
Not my boy.
He locked me in a closet, okay? That's not my fault.
Yeah.
Should he have taken off the mask? Like, should they have taken off the mask of Mike Myers at the end?
I was okay with it.
I think it's weird that they kept it. It was just sitting on the table after, like, the house was all cleaned up, and
Oh, was it?
yeah, it was literally like it zoomed out of like to the living room, and it's just sitting on the coffee table.
Well, I know that
Oh,
when
what
Lori took the mask off, she was saying how, like, yeah, I used to see you as this scary monster, this boogeyman, but now I'm like taking off the mask.
Should have pulled
That's
the
the whole
mask
thing.
off and just had like Ryan Gosling there, and she'd
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, you're gorgeous."
Oh, dude!
She's just like, what a waste. Puts the mask on, kills him. She's like, this makes him feel more right.
What a waste.
Yeah.
It's just Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, like messed up face. He's like, "Hi, but you weren't expecting this."
Is this not the Marvel Universe?
Wait a minute.
I think personally, if you're into slasher movies, I say watch this movie. And if you've seen the other Halloween movies, I say go for it. This is one of those movies that I'm probably just gonna watch the one time. I enjoyed it, but not something I probably won't go back to. I don't know. I have a lot of exploring to do in the slasher / horror genre, so I'm probably not gonna get thrown back into this movie. Into this movie.
Yeah.
What do you think, Amy? Must watch or don't bother?
I mean,
Or somewhere in the middle?
it's in the middle. I mean, if I say here, like, oh, if you really want to watch it, then go ahead and watch it. But if you're, like, if you're not into, like, the Halloween movies or just, like, slasher movies, then don't go watch it. But if you want, like, a slasher to watch, or if you do like the movies, then you can watch it. Because who knows? Like, I didn't, like, super like it. But who knows? Maybe you might like it.
Yeah.
It's okay, you know. It's something to watch.
Yeah.
If you're into it, you might like it. You might not. And
Yeah.
you could always wait for it to come out. I don't think the theater is the bigger difference on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's
Watch it
other
on Peacock.
Yeah, like there's movies that are like, oh, you gotta see it in theaters. I don't think this is one of those
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the middle. There's stuff that I enjoyed and there's stuff that I didn't like. Just know going in, if you've made it to this point, like if you're going in based on the trailer is not what you get in the movie, like at all. So I don't personally think it's a good end to the like trilogy they've set up. I think they kind of branched off a little too far in this one, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's entertaining. I agree, I wouldn't probably watch it again, but if you love Halloween and you want to see more from, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis in this role, you do get some payoff from it.
I think it is a payoff from second movie, like Halloween Kills to Halloween Ends. I was not a fan of how she was in the second movie,
Yeah.
and then she sort of had that redemption.
Yeah, that's still my main complaint. Like the second movie, you don't get a lot of Laurie Strode, and the third movie, you hardly get Michael Myers.
Yeah, you lose one of the
Maybe
two
they're the
main
same
points.
person.
Woo! I've never seen Michael Myers and
Let me get
It's
my
all in Laurie's head. She's
Yeah.
fighting herself. That's why when he dies, she's letting him go. It's herself. She is Michael Myers.
He did die in the fire in the first movie.
and then she just threw herself into the metal chipper or whatever.
At one point, when she was standing in there and the daughter was like holding the lever, I was like, "Is she just gonna like pull it on her?
I'm like,
Is this how it's gonna end?"
yeah, I'm like,
Yes,
this is a
both
weird
got it
ending.
on. Yeah.
I thought she was gonna just give. I wonder if there was like a part of the, like it's something that was cut from the movie where she gives some sort of speech, because she like stands there and it looks like she's gonna be like, everybody of what Haydenwood,
Haywood, I think.
Yeah.
You-
Amy, go to the computer.
Our guy in the chair is gone.
He's gone. He's out of here.
We've lost Hayden. Where'd you go?
He's gone. What am I looking for?
The name of the town. Go to the synopsis on the second to
Oh,
last
sure.
tab. Second to last tab. Okay, go to the next tab, the Wikipedia.
Haddonfield.
Oh.
Haddonfield.
What is Haywood from?
What were we even saying about? Oh, I thought I thought she was. I think they cut out like a speech where she's like, "We've been tormented for years by Michael Myers.
Evil dies tonight.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she should have got a speech.
Yeah, I think she should have, but I wonder if how it. I think it could have been shown to a different audience before they posted it, before they put it out to
You
the
guys
public.
just posted my movie. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Well, like
It'll be $10.
I want to go to like a pre-show, like a
Premiere.
Not a premiere, but like
the screen test.
yeah, screen tests. I think screen tests would be cool.
Or is it a scream test?
Yeah, but I think they should have had some sort of well, they did have a monologue, but they should have replaced the final I think they should have taken out the whole book thing.
I feel like they didn't use the book thing. It was just like a small monologue.
It was a
3
conversation device for the officer and Lori to have the weird romantical whatever.
No, it's
But
just
then they
for
also
monologue.
had the what's it called?
The cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms.
I learned Japanese.
Yeah, it just-
Arigato. And she should have just said, "You're a weeb, bro." And he's like, "But bro, One Piece is so good."
One Piece coming out November.
He's back.
Whoa.
We're looking for you. We're like, we can't figure out the name of this town. But yeah, we figured it out. Yeah.
Right there.
Do you think it's Haddonfield, Haydenfield, or?
It's Haddonfield. That's how
Haddonfield.
they
Or
said it.
Hayfield.
No, they kept saying.
Do you know any place called Hayfield?
Haywood.
Haywood.
I swear it's
We could find it.
He's like, I don't know.
Let me check this tab you guys opened up.
No,
I found it.
it's the Haywood family. It's they have like the Haywood Ranch. That's what it's from.
The Haywood
From
Ranch
what?
from the movie.
Because I
Nope.
was saying like the town name is
Oh,
Haywood.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Same. I need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well now my brain can rest knowing that that's a thing somewhere.
Yeah.
Sick.
And I just looked up Haywood horror movie and it brought up Nope.
Sick, dude.
Once Upon a Time in Haywood.
We just sort of gave our random consensus of the movie. What's your general thoughts as we close?
Worth the watch or no?
Like you guys kind of said, like if you like the Halloween movies, probably not. I didn't like 9 out of 10 time in this movie is taken up by Corey's like whole story and like why he's become the way he is because the town has been treating him awful this whole time, and then the last 10-20 minutes of the movie is finally about Michael and Lori.
They should have.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you really like the Halloween movies for what they are and the story of it, then no, it's not really a good representation of it. But
What about just as a movie in general?
it's very halfway. Just like 5 out of 10, just kind of meh. It's not the best movie ever, but it's not the worst movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the guy at the movie theater, he was like giving me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and I went like sort of to like the middle. I wasn't doing like a little shaky like kind of thing. I was just like on my thumb to the side, sort of went up towards a thumbs up. If you guys can take that visual, listeners at home, it's just like sort of good but not bad.
Yeah.
It's better than meh for me.
Yeah.
I think I'd slap like a 6 out of 10 on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what my out of 10 scale would be. For a slasher movie, I'd give it like a 6 or 7. But for a Halloween movie, sort of, like a 5. But, yeah. Like if you get what I'm saying.
Especially being like the finale of a trilogy, that's where for me it would go much lower.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember which one of you were saying this, but like how the beginning and then the end were like the only good parts. The middle was kind of meh, or it was like slow.
Yeah. It's just like two different stories trying to fight for your attention, and one of them gets much more than the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is going to sound a little weird,
like editing wise, because we got caught up looking at memes and got distracted. But we sort of brought it back all together, but very sloppily. Well, thanks everybody for coming and joining us. But we're not talking to the audience. You guys just wait a second. I'm pointing at the screen. You wait. Thanks for coming on, guys. Where can we find you guys? Find your guys' podcast?
So it will likely be going to Spotify and Apple Podcast. Right now we're aiming for the 22nd or the 23rd.
Okay.
We'll be
This month.
Yeah.
Because we're
Not September.
because this will come out on the 17th. Or not? Yeah, we'll come out Monday.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, about the 22nd or 23rd, we'll launch our first 3 episodes, one of them featuring the Average Joe Show. So we would be more than happy to have you guys check us out if you're interested.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we'll put you guys' link in the description once we'll update it once you guys have a link.
Okay.
And we'll probably give you a shout out on social media.
Yeah. I do hope we can collaborate some more. I think it's been fun between the 2 episodes we've done.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
has been great. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to like us on. Wow. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at AGS_podcast. Amy has her art page, Babby_Yammy. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to. It'll really support us. I really support us. What else do we need to talk about?
Don't forget to check out the Nerd Switch podcast.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Look at our video only, the one that we're in.
No, this podcast sucks. I'm only here for the shout out. It was all a setup the whole time. I don't even like any of you.
Next episode is going to be us recording where we have a brawl between all of us. Last man standing
Podcast. See who wins.
Yeah.
We're going to review the Average Joe Show.
Yeah.
Or should I say the below Average Joe Show?
Whoa! Nerd switch? More like nerd ditch. We're leaving you. Okay. Well, we'll get you guys on the next Halloween spooktacular episode. Remember to grab all the nice candies. Go to the rich neighborhoods and get the big candy bars.
Don't accidentally push a kid off a stairway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Safe babysitting habits. Do those. Always keep an eye on the kid.
And lock the doors.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
That's what keeps Michael Myers out. He doesn't know how to kick him down.
And to send you off in the most Halloween of ways, everybody, well, you have a spooktacular Halloween time. Ooh.